Hi, Monique.
Hello.
How's the year going for you so far?
It has been a really great year so far. I have had as bad as last year was for me, the dumpster fire that it was. This one's starting out really good.
That's awesome. I wanted to try something new on our episode today.
Okay.
It's in the past we have had episodes where you and I shared more vulnerably or personally, but I wanted to take today's episode to just do a check-in on each of us, how we're doing, how the year's going, what's new, what's cooking, what do we need? And so I had an idea that we should kind of run it like we do the hot seats in our mastermind group.
I love that.
Yeah. So on today's episode, you're going to get to experience what it's like to listen to someone in the hot seat and get a check-in with both Monique and I. So should we do it?
Let's do it.
Great. Let's go. Welcome to Heart and Soul, the podcast where we empower and inspire women to lead their best lives, harnessing the power of their hearts and souls. We are Mariah
and Monique,
your hosts and guides on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth.
In each episode, we will dive deep into topics that matter most to you, from self-love and confidence to career development, relationships, and everything in between. We believe that every woman has a unique strength and inner wisdom waiting to be unleashed.
Join us as we cover insightful heart and soul-centered topics and interview incredible women who've overcome challenges, chased their dreams, and found their true purpose. Through all of this, you will discover practical tips, strategies, and real-life stories to help you navigate life's twists and turns.
For whatever season of life you're in, this podcast is your safe space to explore, learn, grow, and possibly even laugh and cry with us. So grab your headphones, maybe your favorite drink, and we'll embark on this transformative journey together.
With heart, I'm Mariah.
And with soul, I'm Monique.
Okay, so just to explain the plan for this episode,
yes.
We host this mastermind group, the Heart and Soul Mastermind, a group of like-minded women coming together to support each other and grow both personally and professionally.
Yes.
And one of the cornerstones of this group is what we call the hot seat.
I know. It's the best.
It is.
It's the meat.
And in the hot seat, each person in the group has a specific period of time where all attention is on them.
Ooh.
And we ask them the question, what do you need from the group today?
Mm-hmm.
And how that then continues forward is up to the individual, but it can be anywhere from just like total, like brain dump.
Yes.
Like just brain dump what's on your mind, what you're thinking, like what's new, to sometimes people will come in, they've already kind of thought about it and they've got like a list. I would love your opinions, your advice on this, and this. So it really varies and ranges depending on the month and where people are at. But it's amazing when the person in the hot seat starts talking, how it becomes so clear to the listeners how they can help.
Yes.
And we've been having this conversation over the past couple episodes about asking for what we need and asking for help. And our group is a really wonderful, safe place where people can do that.
And they can be vulnerable.
And yes, and they can just like let it out.
Right.
And then the flip side of that is once they're done speaking, it's usually about 5 to 7 minutes. Then the group goes around one by one and shares their feedback, ideas, just support,
Yes.
Every one of us has sort of a different contribution.
Yes.
And you and I both participate in that as well, which is unique to our group. It was important to us to do that. And then from there, we end with feedback. So now you've shared, you've received the feedback from the group, and now you can respond to that. Because an important part I didn't touch on is that while you're talking, it's all you. We're not interjecting. We're not asking questions. We do a little clarification moment
like
right
a
before
clarifying
feedback.
question.
In case it's just like, can you say more about this? But then while we're giving feedback, you can't comment. So that's an
you got to sit there and take it.
It's literally why we call it the hot seat. But at the end, it's a nice opportunity to have closure where the person in the hot seat says, that was a great idea. I'm going to implement that. Like the to-do list becomes clear from that. And so that exercise just pulls out so much from the group support. So we're going to do a hot seat moment today.
Well, would you like to go first and be in the hot seat?
I can go first. I can be in the hot seat.
So I want to ask you, Mariah, what would you like help from me with today? Or what has been going on with you since we've spoke last?
Oh, the seat feels hot already. Oh my gosh. It's been a long time since I've actually been in a hot seat. And it was my idea to do this episode. So wow, how quickly that came back to haunt me. I will say, as you commented in starting off this episode, in so many ways, the start of this year has been really fantastic.
Yes.
I felt like I came into 2025 like a ball of fire of positivity, energy, direction, alignment. I was just like, boom, on it. There have been some twists and turns in the last couple of weeks that have tried to shake me from the course.
You've had some stuff happen.
I literally feel like the universe is like trying me. It is trying to shake me to my core with some little shenanigans. Caveat, I had a rental car stolen in a like freak situation.
Yes, you did.
But it was found and returned. All's well that ends well. Find my personal Instagram. You can read more about that story. But, just some testing moments, both personally, professionally. Like it's just been like interesting. But I found myself stepping back and just trying to just like receive the messages or receive the ahas. But I have to laugh too. Like
I
the
love that
levity in it of like the pure ridiculousness of these different situations. Not even my car, my rental car. So bizarre. You can't make it up. And you can choose to let it ruin your night. Okay, fine. I'll tell a little bit more of that story. But
please do.
I was going to this really amazing party to honor this accomplishment. And actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing some connections here. This has happened 2 Tuesdays in a row.
Oh.
2 Tuesdays in a row.
Next Tuesday. I think you should take off from work.
I need to take the day off. Oh my God. So I was going to this big event to honor this photo shoot. It was a release of the magazine.
It was a really big deal.
Minnesota Bride.
Yes.
I had this editorial photo shoot that I designed. A whole team went for the party. It was like really big deal. And then through the party, I'm having to go talk to the cops and like deal with the fact that within 2 minutes of arriving at the hotel, someone stole my rental car from the valet stand.
Oh my goodness. When you told me this story, I was like, no, you're
crazy.
lying. You're
so
making
good.
this up. This is a joke. You're like, nope.
Nope. Real life.
I've never met anyone who's had this happen.
And I refuse to let it stop me from going to the party. In fact, as they're literally telling me this, I'm still putting on my press-on nails because I'm like, I bought these nails to go with this dress. So you can keep talking, but I am going to be putting them on.
I need to look
good. And the girl from the hotel says, I can't believe you're so calmly just sitting there putting on your nails. And I looked at her. I was like, well, what else would I be doing? Like, I got to go to a party. I'm a wedding planner. I don't think you understand. The show goes on. Like, I can't let this stop us from moving forward.
It says a lot, that little short.
I know, right? So, alas, that happened. And then I just didn't let it shake me. We got to keep forging ahead. Same goals, just keep moving. And then this Tuesday, I actually had a long time employee leave. That's
a big deal.
Jarring, unexpected.
And I think this employee was a leader in your organization.
Absolutely. And life moves on and that's all well, but it was a shock. And that was just right before I was going to be giving a big speech to our community in front of 600 people about my entrepreneurial journey.
And by the way, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I'm like,
but wait, you forgot the little thing yesterday that also happened in the morning.
So I'm going to, my life is apparently hilarious. I I was trying to like make things easier on myself, knowing I had this speech to give, and I arranged to have my makeup professionally done.
I mean,
by
of
someone
course.
who I
and
adore.
You looked glamorous.
And I just like, oh, one less thing on my plate. I'll just get this done. It's going to be a lovely morning. I kind of cleared my schedule. It's going to be so nice. I'll be so relaxed. I go out to my car in the morning. Doesn't start. Okay. Put my wedding planner hat on. Got to fix the situation. Still need to get the makeup done. Not willing to cancel.
Like the lean it press on nails situation.
So exactly. So my neighbor's car is in the driveway. Oh, because also I had a rental car because our other car is in the shop because someone hit us. So I'm already down one vehicle.
Oh my gosh.
And my daughter's at school with hers. So like this is my option. So I get the keys, I get the car jumped. I'm so proud of myself. I had to get my sick husband out of bed to come and help me with like the last part of the jumping, but like he did. Off I go to get my makeup done. Park the car, run inside, get my makeup done, go outside, and to my surprise, car doesn't start. I mean, perhaps there's more going on with this car. So it's freaking cold here, right?
Yes.
Yesterday morning was real chilly.
Yes.
And I'm really chilly in the car. My eyes are watering with the fresh makeup. And then I'm trying not to cry.
Oh.
And I'm like, don't cry right now because you just got your makeup done. So call AAA, line up the ride, call you because it meant like I'm not making a meeting that we're supposed to have. Like run across the street to the coffee shop to stay warm while I wait. Thankfully, have like one of the best cookies I've ever had, which I don't even know what made me think at 9 a.m. like I need that cookie, but it did help. It was delicious. And guy comes, jumps the car, and is like, your battery's definitely toast. Like you need a new battery. Immediately, you don't shut the car off.
Just drive around forever.
Until you get a new battery. Okay. I guess my day is taking a turn.
And I'm hoping you had a sound check
by 3 o'clock, and I had not done my hair or, even figured out what I was going to wear at this point. That was out the door. So drove to Tires Plus, and let me tell you, like, there's something just really soothing about sitting in the waiting room at a place like that where nobody's bothering you. They're working on your car.
Yeah.
They seem very efficient. They
know what they're doing.
Come in, we can help you. We have your battery. And I like banged out some things on my laptop, got some stuff off my plate. And I was
Love it.
I feel like a new person. I have a new car battery.
So possibly if you're struggling getting things done, go to Tires Plus waiting room.
Jiffy Lube, one of my favorite secrets. Go get your oil change at Jiffy Lube and opt to stay in the car where you just feel serviced. I know that sounds so bad. But
it does sound bad.
If I really feel the need for self-care, do you know what I do?
Go to Jiffy Lube.
I go to Jiffy Lube. Ideally, also because I need an oil change. And then the car wash right after that.
Oh, God.
Man, girl feels good.
Yeah.
So, alas, new battery, back on track, go home, get ready for the party or for the speech. And everything went so well. It was interesting. I was telling my story of entrepreneurship, my entrepreneurial journey in downtown Duluth for the organization called Downtown Duluth.
Yes.
And in order to prepare for this, I actually went through the last 15 years of my life in photos.
It was amazing and inspiring, by the way.
Well, stories, anytime you hear someone's story, it fills in all the gaps. Yes. It makes so much sense. It makes them more human.
Yes.
But as I was literally going back through Google Photos, which is truly incredible when you think about how it can document your life.
Oh my gosh, so
I just pulled the little scale down 2010, what was happening in 2010. And then I scrolled up slowly but surely over a couple of days, and I saw every moment of my life flashing before my eyes from my children, who at that time were 2, like myself, my husband, how young we looked, and the babies, and then like the early stages of my business in photos. And I went through every single day, and I was looking for very specific images to highlight like a pivotal points along the way and to tell the story. And it was so cool. And then I'd find a picture and I'm like, oh, I'm going to download that one because I got to show somebody a reminder of this. Or I found a picture of the first moment I ever met one of my longtime employees and like,
That's
just
awesome.
one of the most special people. I was like, that was the moment we met. We got it on film, so
that's pretty neat.
That was pretty cool. And it gave me like that 2-day period and all the trials just reminded me of like the whole point of my speech. It's like resilience, perseverance,
the journey of an entrepreneur,
calm in the face of disaster. Like all the things were happening to me live.
Yes.
And I had a choice. Like I could choose to buckle under them and not show up and give that speech in any, great headspace, or to keep just like doing the exercises that we talk about on this podcast.
Yes.
That I, I'm so passionate about and sharing with our mastermind group.
Yes.
And what I'll even tell you is that last night as I'm sitting there in my seat through the program waiting for my turn, I used visualization. And we had done an earlier episode this season on visualization.
Yes.
So I sat there and I closed my eyes and I pictured myself on the stage and I pictured myself clicking the button on my slides and looking out at the audience. Like I just walked myself through all of it. I pictured myself walking off like all of it. And I'm like, it's
that's
like
amazing.
The podcast episode. I did it. And the calm that I felt because of that, I didn't have any nerves. And I walked up on that stage and I just started talking. Also, the teleprompter was amazing. So
that's
that
awesome
was
to
super
hear.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, so that has been my recent life. That brings us up to today. And what I'm clear on is that I'm unwavering in my goals right now.
Oh.
I'd have had years that have taken a similar tone where I go into January headstrong, so excited. Something happens late January, early February, and I let it derail.
Like, right. Kind of like what has happened. You had a lot of things thrown at you.
It's very reminiscent from past years.
Okay.
And what I'm clear on is my response is going to be different than the past.
Oh, I love
I am
that.
not going to repeat that. I'm going to focus on, the goal is still the goal. Like, I'm not wavering from that. How I might get there, that path is going to be different now, different people on it, but it doesn't change the goal.
Right.
That felt really good to like digest.
That's amazing.
Over the past couple days.
Yes.
And I'll end with, in my hot seat, thank you for giving me a lot of time here. I hope it's been entertaining for people.
It's been entertaining for me, so I appreciate it.
So a story that happened that you were there for, and I ended last year, and I kind of started out this year with this idea that what I needed in my business was to put fuel on my fires.
Oh, I love this.
Is to pour gas on it, basically.
You need gasoline.
I need gasoline.
Foot to the pedal and all the way down.
Let's go.
Yep.
And because I have spent a lot of time building structure, building operational efficiency, honing in on all of these things. And now what I need is just fuel on the fire, like marketing and, business development and all this stuff. So one day you and I went to this little cute shop across the street from the office called Namaste, where they sell crystals and super cool stuff, woo-woo stuff too. And we were paying and I looked down in this case of jewelry and I got zapped in the eye by this necklace.
Oh.
I literally was like, oh, I need it. And I had no reason, there was no reason. I just saw it and I was like, I need it. And the young lady, she pulled it out and she's like, oh, that's a Herkimer diamond and da-da-da-da, it's cool. And I'm looking at it. It's just, I'm wearing it right now.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful piece. Bury the lead here. So this little diamond's floating around in this circular thing. And in my head, I'm like, it kind of looks like a vault door, but it also looks like a compass. There's just cool symbolic things that in my life. And then I like diamonds. So cool. Well, then another one of the employees says, oh, the Herkimer diamonds are so cool. They're full of petroleum. Look at this one. And he has this huge one and he's shining this light on it.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's glowing green.
Yes.
It's clearly lit up. And he goes, all of that green is petroleum that is inside this Herkimer diamond. It's gasoline. I'm like, wait a minute. So then he puts the light on this pendant and the thing's green. It lights up like a piece of kryptonite. Like, and he goes, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much gasoline is in that tiny little thing.
I love it.
And I literally was like, it's the gasoline that I need. It's a sign. It's a sign. I need this necklace. It found me because it is reaffirming that what I need is to throw, for the petroleum and the gas on this fire, and I'm not going to deviate from that plan. And I bought the necklace. I was like, yeah, wrap it up. Let's go. I put it on, and I feel so empowered by the signs, right? That I'm on the right track. So all that to say, what do I need right now? I need you to hold me accountable.
Okay.
And not to let me steer in 2 months from now.
Yes.
If I've lost this fire.
Got you.
And I just need to know if you also think I'm on the right track, I guess, too.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
You want feedback from me?
I want feedback from you on everything you've heard here. So.
Brava. I can't even believe that you pulled that talk off yesterday. No. After the week you had car stolen, battery, employee, all of it. Anyways, it was amazing. So I say sometimes when we ask for a big life, we get expansion and we can kind of feel the expansion.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what you're bumping up against, right? I just think it's like the metamorphosis butterfly moment for you, right? You're just expanding. And I love that you have such a positive attitude through it. My God. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure not every moment has been positive, but to be able to go through a hard time and be like, but I know it's going to be better, or I have faith. I don't even have to know. That's sort of a beautiful thing. So I have a question for you. How would I potentially know if you've lost your fire?
If I were to start using limiting
narratives, yes,
or narratives about abandoning plans.
Okay, I'm not going to make these quotas or whatever.
I've lowered my goal revenue.
Okay,
that's a red flag for me. Right?
Okay,
or I think that can happen next year. Things like that.
Yes,
and that's not to say that you can't change plan.
Absolutely, sure, right.
But I see, we all have the self-sabotage, right?
We do.
When the going gets tough, stop going,
Yes.
And I'm just trying to get beyond that so that it doesn't. I have goals. I haven't had such clear goals for a while.
It's beautiful.
And honestly, they're very personally fueled. I also have daughters getting ready to go to college. One of them got accepted
Which you have to pay.
into college, and I need to pay for it.
Yeah.
So, my direction is clear. And I'm excited. I'm on fire about it. And also, my career has truly never been for me driven by the financial gain.
Right.
I think to do this type of work, you have to be crazy fueled by something else.
Yes.
Because it is so just, personal and everything. But I gotta say, it matters now in a different way. And I'm okay with that. Let's go.
Well, that's why I asked how I would know, because you're really the only one who could explain to me, to be your accountability buddy, I need to know the signs to look for.
If you see this.
Yeah, if I start seeing you say well, I'm not even going to meet my revenue as last year, so screw these really big goals, I'll be like, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So thank you for that. That was really great. But I do really sense and feel that you're just expanding. Because you asked to expand, because you have lofty things. And, like you said, the universe was like, do you really want this?
I had, for a very long time, a revenue goal that was pie in the sky. And I think what happened at the end of the year is that someone called me out that I was probably, I would get so close.
Yes.
But not get there.
Yes.
And I was frustrated. And then I realized, through this conversation, I wasn't aiming high enough. I'm not going to hit that goal unless I aim twice that.
Wow.
then I'm going to have a far greater chance of hitting that goal and maybe others that I wasn't even thinking about. Like, well, aim bigger, like expand the potential.
Yes.
That's what really changed the game at the end of last year and brought me into this going, why would I be limited in my belief of how big I can get?
Right.
I preach limiting beliefs, for God's sakes. Like, The Big Leap is a book that we had talked about. We love. I'm doing it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really powerful to have somebody call out my own upper limits and to actively remove those and think, well, dream bigger. So,
right.
And now as the universe tests those limits and says like, but really?
Yes.
But really?
Right.
I mean, I'm saying really for crying out loud.
Good.
So let's go.
I love it.
There you go. That's where I'm at.
Thank you for sharing. That's
yes.
awesome. Wow.
Okay. Are you ready for the hot seat, Monique?
It's been a while since I've been in the hot seat too, right?
It feels so different.
It feels really different. Okay. I can be in the hot seat.
Okay.
I got this.
Monique.
Yeah.
What would you like to share with me today?
Yeah. So for me, we asked at the beginning, or you asked at the beginning, like how this year is going so far, and it's been going so well. Last year was challenging, beautiful. It was all of these things. At the end of the year, one of my really good dear friends gave me some journaling prompts to help me reflect on last year, and then help me like set goals, but also not just set goals, but talk to me about like, how do I want to feel? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want my values to be? What do I desire this year to be? So I sat down and I did that, and was so helpful to get into how I wanted to feel, because as entrepreneurs, we get into this goals like financial, and I'm not saying that that's bad. Yeah. I still do have financial goals that I need to meet and want to meet, and will meet actually. But it was more about like, I want more connections, deeper connections. I want to feel good in my body. I want to have, like really great health. I want to eat really good. I want to spend time in nature, right? Like these had not really been things that I had focused on. So the last month or so for me, when I was thinking about it, has really all been about connecting. Mm-hmm. So I've had 2 trips, one of which was really major. Not that both of them weren't, but where it was meeting people, new people for the first time that were very important to people that are very dear to me that I love. Yeah. So I went to Florida. I met my boyfriend's family. My gosh, they're wonderful. Aww. Connected, bonded, hung out, cooked, ate, played cards. It was beautiful, right? And just connections and laughter, so good for the soul. As I'm continuing to heal my body, I've really just been on this like, we are the sum of who we surround ourselves with. And I really wanted a vibrational match, aligned partner. Oh. And to be able to find so much pleasure and joy in finding more of an aligned partner, and then share the people they love with, have them share the people they love with me, was amazing. So I had that trip. Meanwhile, my business is growing, which is fantastic. Because I had so many health problems last year, I wasn't able to work as much as I wanted. So my coaching business is doing so much better. It's really thriving. I always have, I shouldn't say always. I have room for more clients, but still. So a really big trip, though, after that was going to South Africa to meet my daughter-in-law's family, her mother, her mother's boyfriend, her 2 siblings, her grandparents, both her set of grandparents, her cousins, her aunt, uncle, friends, her friends. So to be able again to connect with new people, to feel good to cook. Like one of the things I gave them as a gift for having such wonderful hospitality, I was like, I can't get all these people knickknacks. I don't know what they like. I don't know if I'm going to see them all. So I was like, I'm going to give you a really big cooked Italian meal. So one night I cooked for like 5 hours and I was like, if you like Italian food, I'm making spaghetti and I'm making Alfredo and I'm going to make a salad and a caprese. And anyways, and it was just like we sat down, we drank wine, we had braais, which are like barbecues, but I guess I don't like them to be called barbecues. We went into like the mountains and we went on a game drive, you know, just like I got to be with my grandchildren for 2 weeks straight. I haven't been able to spend that much quality time with people I love and people that my people I love so much in so long, right?
Oh, that's so beautiful.
It was like life-giving, soul fulfilling. And really, I don't know until, so every day, part of my practice, Monday through Friday, is looking through this journal with these journaling prompts that my friend gave me and reviewing, am I on track? Am I actually like keeping this desire in front of me? Is this value still something that is like in my life, or have I strayed from this value? So I was like reading, I'm like, oh my God, this last month has been all about connection, love, joy, nature, feeling good in my body, cooking well, eating, having great conversations. And while part of me could get like really nervous and anxious about the fact that like I hadn't been hustling or making money, I still was having clients. I was able to have a couple of, you know, client Zoom sessions while I was away. It was like magical. And I'm not just talking even about South Africa, which by the way is magical. Yeah. Although I love my grandchildren, but they're like at this point in time, 1.5 and 2.5. And oh my God, that's a lot. I haven't been around babies for a long time, but they're so cute. Anyways, just to have those parts, the lesser parts of my goals and my values, and not lesser as in like not as important, but what I deem as less value, like, but I'm not hitting my target, my number targets, and I'm not like, but wait a minute. I asked for all this. I asked for the whole rainbow, not just the black and the white. And to go back and realize, like, was this a waste of my time? Because I struggled a little bit with, like, I should be working, but here I am, and the babies are crying, and there's nothing I can do. I should be more productive. But also, it's like 95 degrees out. Maybe I should just lay by the pool. You know what I mean? There was this push-pull back and forth for us really pushy. You know, you've talked about you've talked about how you've gone on vacation, and you've been like, what just happened? I have nothing to do, right? I was sort of like in that swing of it. But when I went back and looked through my journal prompts and I realized like half the things from what I desire and my values were covered in the last month, just maybe not my, you know, monetary goals, but actually I was still on the way to them. I was like, okay, this is really what the life is trying to line up for me, is it's trying to say, this is where you're at and this is what you need, and we're going to give you what you need. You need connections. You need deep emotional, like, healing. You need just love. You need juicy, gooey, you know, and I got it. And so that's my update. What I need help with? Well, I just want to stay focused, right? Mm-hmm. So occasionally maybe somebody, and maybe even our podcast audience, could be like, hey, are you still checking on your journal prompt goals, right?
Yes.
Kind of like you just said.
Yeah.
Like what could I use help with? Probably that, because I don't want to lose focus. Because you're right. You get in February, March, and you're just like, well, I mean, I made those goals and they were like really lofty, right? Yeah. Or I wrote those things down, but I mean, I didn't really actually expect them to come through, or whatever the thing is. But I surprised myself because a lot of them did come through. So intentionality, with just really good being in the moment and trying not to control everything, which takes a lot of work for me. Yeah. I was able to receive beautiful experiences with beautiful people that I didn't know before, but that I'll know for the rest of my life, hopefully.
Oh, I love it.
I know, right?
That is so good. Monique, look at you.
I know.
Oh, my feedback is just that this has been a hard and trying journey that you've been on to get here. And you have had this eye on the prize of a juicy life for a while.
Yes.
And so that you've actually manifested it.
It's here.
You desired it. You said it out loud. You aligned with it. And now you're living it. How's that feel?
Yeah, I love that you asked that question, because I want to talk about this for just a minute. I want to take all day, but so there's these parts of you of me, I'll just speak for myself. There's parts of me that kind of have freakouts.
Sure.
Whoa. This is too good. Whoa. Like, this is what we wanted, but this is, and we cry. I cry. I have to journal. I have to process, like, how can this possibly be that I actually am getting the exact thing I needed and wanted?
And asked for.
And it's in my lap. And now I'm like, I don't want to reject it, but it's scary.
And so good at the same time.
So I've really been like holding myself to the challenge of being present and rising up and receiving what I've requested.
It's so interesting how hard it is to answer the question, how good are you willing to let it get?
Oh my gosh.
Right? And it goes back to, again, The Big Leap, a book we talk about a lot. And he says that, Gay Hendricks says, how often people sabotage themselves because they cannot believe when it's getting good. I mean, how sad is that? We
sad.
upper limit ourselves all the time.
Yes.
Because just when it gets good, we can't believe it. We don't know how to receive it, and we push it back down. And so congratulations on getting there. And I hope that just sharing here today in your hot seat, like, really drove home how you are living in, like, the reality that you desired.
Yes.
Manifested for yourself.
For years.
And that it doesn't have to change or end. It can only get better. What do you want next?
Oh.
That's my question, right? What's next? Because if you can dream it, it can happen, and desire it. So I would just hold you accountable to not stop.
Dream bigger.
Dream bigger. What else would bring you joy and juiciness? Because that's the next thing to go after.
I love that. Okay, to be continued.
We will absolutely have to check back in on this episode and see, based on what we've shared here today, how have we held each other accountable to the declarations, these goals, these asks of the universe, and how are they panning out, as we go through the journey of life. So I'm actually, this could be a recurring episode theme. I hope people enjoy listening to it. I certainly enjoyed sharing and hearing from you and laughing alongside you, what we do best. And so I think this could be something we could revisit. So let us know on Instagram, DM us, comment, or on YouTube, wherever you're listening. If you liked this juicy stuff that we were sharing, and if you'd like to hear more about our own journeys, like, we're open books, right? At this point, we've pulled the Band-Aid off of the vulnerability and the sharing.
Right.
So I think, let's keep going. And
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
for sitting in the hot seat with me today.
I know. I loved it. High five.
Yay,
we did
it. We're bad at high-fiving.
We'll work on that. That's our goal.
Next time. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Cheers, friends. You've just finished another episode of the Heart and Soul podcast.
We hope that you've enjoyed the show. And if you've loved it, we would love if you'd leave us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening. You can find links to leave that review in the show notes, where you'll also find other resources that we reference on our show. And if you think a friend could find value in today's episode or any future episodes, please share this episode with them on social media. This is one of the only ways the podcast can organically grow, and we just can't wait to connect with you and all of your besties. You can also find Monique and I on our many social media platforms or our websites, and we're going to leave links to those in the show notes as well. Thank you for listening. We look forward to sharing our hearts and souls with you again next time. With Heart, I'm Mariah.
And with Soul, I'm Monique.